Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I hope you're all doing half as good as I am because I absolutely crushed it in the Shanghai Masters today. If you watched yesterday's video, seen yesterday's tips, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. I'll run through them really fast. Actually, what a day I have had. We had JJ Wolf, Lorenzo Sonego. The first underdog of the day was Mikhail Kukushkin. I told you. I told you he was going to win. I hope you listened to me. The only one that I lost today was Stefano Napolitano. He got beat by Bebet Sakayev. I did say it would be a close one. I'm not too arsed about it, if I'm being honest, because next one we had Jordan Thompson against Terence Atman. I told you to take Atman for a set. He won the damn thing outright, so what a guy. Alexei Popyrin versus Matteo Arnaldi. I said lean towards Arnaldi, but you could also take Popyrin for a set. You'd have won money on either of those two. And the third and final dog of the day was Chanson Seng to beat Alexander Shevchenko. I told you he would. I said you could take him plus the points. I took him to win outright. 7 out of 8 in total. 3 out of 3 for the underdogs. The dogs were barking today. I hope he's won some cash, and I'm feeling really fucking good about myself, boys. I'm not gonna lie. Before we get into round 2, you drop a like, subscribe if you want to, or if you've won any money, really appreciate it. You don't have to. But yeah, let's get into it. Rolex Shanghai Masters round 2 is tomorrow, and I've picked out another 8 games, which I think are well worth having a look at. So, first one we've got is Casper Ruud versus Yoshito Nishioka. Spread's 3.5, total is 22.5. Now, look, this is interesting. You know, I've said in the past couple of videos, I really like Nishioka. We know that by now. He plays really well in the Asian hard court. He just does. He actually beat Casper Ruud here. Not here, sorry, in August of last year, or autumn of last year, I think. I think it was in Seoul. In Seoul? Yeah, I think it was in Seoul. 3 sets, pretty much what you'd expect. Nishioka's just beat Daniel Altmaier in the first round. Beat him in 3, so, you know, he's definitely in a rhythm. Casper Ruud's not been at his best this year, has he? Let's face it. I would expect that Casper Ruud is expecting a tough game. I mean, Nishioka's really good at returning the serve. Casper Ruud hasn't really got that strong of a serve. I think Nishioka will be all over it, giving him problems. But with that being said, I do think, you know, just the overall core consistency and basic strategy of Casper Ruud will see him through this one. The plus 3.5 looks really good to me for Nishioka. That's what, say a tiebreaker, 6-4. That 3.5's good. Even if he loses in 2, I can't see him just getting walloped like 6-0 or 6-2 in a set. He may even win. This might not be that bad of an underdog pick as what you'd think it'd be, but I will be going with Casper Ruud. Yeah, I think Casper Ruud's the play in this one. One last thing on this game that I've just noticed is the last time Casper Ruud played against a left-handed player was Liam Brody in Wimbledon, and if you remember how that went down, you'll recall that Casper Ruud got beat in 5 sets. Now, that could mean nothing. It could mean everything. We'll see. Casper Ruud. Game 2 is probably one of the harder games to predict, but I'd say one of the better games that you're going to get all day. This will be brilliant to just sit and watch, even if you've got no money on it. Talon Griekspoor versus Dusan Lajovic. Spreads 2.5, 3.5. I've seen it some places. Total is 22.5. Now look, both of these have had really strong seasons so far. You know, Dusan Lajovic, He has a lot of success on the clay, doesn't he? Like he's a clay baby, but he's really good on the hard court too. Bear in mind, he beat Yannick Sinner in Cincinnati not that long ago. And, we've all just seen Yannick Sinner win Beijing, beat Medvedev in the final. Fucking brilliant. Beat Carlos Alcaraz as well. I was more impressed with that. He made that one look really easy in the semis. So I'd keep that one in mind. Lajovic is no joke. Talon Griekspoor is really good though. He's really good, really consistent. He's brilliant on grass. Fantastic grass play. He plays really fast, plays really strong on the grass. So I would imagine that would translate well into the hard court. You know, Lajovic has just beat Wawrinka 2-0, so he's definitely in a stride. He could very well get the upset here. He could very well get the upset. I wouldn't talk it off of taking him for a set, especially with that total being 23. I don't know, man. I mean, I tell you one thing. This is a guarantee. There's a definite tiebreaker in this game. So if you want to risk, the 22 and a half tiebreaker, 6-4, that's so possible. That's so possible either way in this game. But I would lean towards Griekspoor just to get it done. I really would. Very close one. Very close one. Approach this with caution. Game number 3 is Yannick Hanfman versus Christopher Eubanks. Now, this is dead evens. According to the bookies, this is dead evens. Big emphasis on according to the bookies. Spread's just half a point. Total is, get on this, total's 24 and a half. Now, I don't know if that's a mistake or if there's something that I've just completely missed, but 24 and a half for this game seems incredibly high. Incredibly high. Like, are we so sure there's like 2 tiebreaks or there's definitely 3 sets in this game? I'm not so sure. Eubanks has he's not been in great form whatsoever since Wimbledon, has he? This is his first time at the Masters, so there will be that excitement there for him, I imagine. But Jan Hanfman's been playing really good lately, man. He qualified for the main draw in Beijing. He had a really, really good first set against Alcaraz. I think Eubanks opened as a slight favourite, but I imagine that's just based on rank. I wouldn't be surprised to see Hanfman close as the favourite over. There'll be money coming in on this overnight, and some of that money will definitely be from me because I think Hanfman gets this one done. Look, it may go over, it may not, like who knows, but if I had to just give you the free pick right now, I'd just say that doesn't go anywhere near the 25 games, but that's not official. My official pick for this is Yannick Hanfman. It's the only way I can look. Moving on. Game number 4. Felix Auger-Aliassime versus Martin Fucsovics. Now, this is really good. This is a really good one. A lot of money coming in on Auger-Aliassime. And I get it to an extent, but then again, none of my monies came in on Aliassime so far, so there's definitely a reason for that. This is the 4th time these have played, by the way, but the last time they played was in 2021. Now, look, someone says to you, Felix Auger-Aliassime, you'd say, brilliant player, fantastic player, like one of the best on his day, but when was that? I'll tell you when that was actually. Late 2021, early 2022, over a year ago now, well over a year ago. What's he done for the past year? Not compared to what he was doing. This is the point. He did beat Fucsovics the last 2 times they played. Like I said, that was a long time ago. A lot's changed since then. I like Martin Fuskovic. He's a solid player. He's always in the top 60, top 50, solidified in the ranks. 2021, early 2022, Aliassime was really good, like a lot better than Fuskovic. You'd have just took him to win this all day, no question about it back then. But he's had injuries, and he's suffered with like pressure issues, and like I said, the injuries have definitely hampered him, definitely knocked his confidence. Well, we've seen it. He did have a good Laver Cup. I'll give him that. He had a good Laver Cup, but how much of that's to do with him just being around, a team again, other people there, just get the juices flowing. Realistically, Aliassime should get it done, shouldn't he? But this isn't going to be easy. This is nowhere near going to be as easy as what they reckon it is. 2.5 on the spread. Total's 23.5. What does that tell you? That total right there doesn't fill me with confidence that Aliassime just smokes him in two. So with that being said, I would be looking at Martin Fuskovic just to win a set. It's the exact same price as Aliassime to win the game. The only thing, hang on, the only thing I will say about that is, and this is quite worrying, do you think Aliassime wins this in two? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, then like, I just I don't know what to tell you. I wouldn't be so sure. I can't even look at you and say Fuskovic is definitely good for the set because the last five losses he's had, he's only won one set in them. So this is what I'm saying. Going off the stats, if Aliassime's going to win, he's more than likely going to win in two. I think Fuskovic makes it a lot tougher than that. And looking at that total, 23 and a half, I think there's at least a set of piece in this. I'd lean towards Aliassime to win it. He should get it done if he is who he should be. This is horrible. I'm going with my gut. My initial pick was Martin Fuskovic to win a set. That's what I'd look at here. If you're not too sure, I don't blame you for not wanting to bet this one, but it is an interesting game. You can't lie. We'll leave it at that. Next game, interesting, but for different reasons, and I'll get to that now. It's Lorenzo Musetti versus, fucking killing me with these names, man. His last name's Sue. I think it's you, Sue, Sue, and I really apologise if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but yeah, just look for who Musetti's playing. You'll know exactly who I mean. The spread's 3.5 and the total's 20.5. Now, the guy I'm talking about, Sue, played Max Purcell yesterday. Beat him. I don't know if anybody watched that game, but what I'll say is this. People are saying, like, oh, it was no easy test. That was the most fixed game of tennis I've ever seen in my life. I've just got to say it. Like, I'm not going to get into it too much. Max Purcell should have done and dusted this kid like he was nothing. For a bit of context, first set went to a tiebreaker, right? See, I picture this. First set tiebreaker. Max Purcell is winning the tiebreaker 5-1, and he has the serve. What score do you think that tiebreaker finishes? He's winning 5-1. The guy who's got the five has got the serve for the next two. What does it finish? 7-5 for Sue. Now, I don't know about you, but that's fucking impossible. That's fucking impossible, boys. There's no way. There's no way on earth You've done that. You've done it on purpose, is what I'm getting at. Just go on Twitter, type in Max Purcell, and then let me know what you think in the comments. I promise you, boys, it's not just me. I was fucking disgusted. They, I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on this guy because obviously he got a win. Fair play to the kid. It is what it is. But his serve was so weak. His serve was so weak. You'll see what I'm talking about tomorrow, fellas. Look, I know Musetti's been a bit iffy this year. Well, not really, but he had a disappointing US Open. This kid's not going to stand a chance against Musetti. He's just not. Like, I've got nothing else to say about it. I only wanted to mention this game just to tell you about the Max Purcell one. Honestly, that's it. Musetti's the easiest pick here. Probably the easiest pick of the whole card, boys. Don't even think about it. Moving on, we've got three more. So, next we've got Brandon Nakashima versus Holger Rune. Spread 1.5. Total's 23.5. Ignore the total. Spread's 1.5. Now, some of you might be sitting there going, yeah, I'm not surprised. Holger Rune's been shit all, like for the past few months and all that. Like, we know that. The kid's been injured, hasn't he? The kid's suffered with some terrible injuries. He's had some absolute stinker results. I'll hold my hands up and say that. Head to head's 1-0 to Nakashima. He has beaten before. That was in 2021. And let's face it, boys, 2 years ago, Holger Rune wasn't the Holger Rune that we know today. Nowhere near it whatsoever. And before like the last couple of months, Holger Rune's had a strong season. Like, surely you can remember the start of the year, that mid through the year, he's had a fucking really good season. Like, he's still number 5 in the world. Kid's still number 5 in the world, boys. Brilliant player. You know, he does seem to be getting back into his stride. He really does. He got a couple of wins. You know, when was it in Beijing? He beat Dimitrov. Can't remember who he beat before that. OJ Aliassime smoked them 2-0. I don't know why this line's so close. I think someone somewhere has looked at this and went, oh, look at Holger Rune's last 10 games or whatever. He's lost pretty much all of them. No, he's not going to win. Like, Nakashima was good last year. This year, nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. He's dropped out of the top 100 already. He come into the Masters on a 4-match losing streak. He beat Zapata Morales, didn't he, in the first round? The big thing for me is here as well. Like, maybe this means nothing, but to me it does. Looking into the future, Holger Rune's gonna want to get into a groove before the indoor swing. But if you know, you know. If you don't, it might sound like I'm just talking bollocks. Just ignore me for a second. But Holger Rune will want to get back into a groove for the indoor swing. He's going to be defending his title in Paris. This is the game for him to really start. He'll come in, he'll fucking destroy Brandon Nakashima. You all know he will. And the fact that the odds are so close here, look, if Brandon Nakashima beats Holger Rune, I'll hold my hands up, boys, and I'll take the blame for it. But unless I've completely missed something, there is no reason for the line to be this close. I am taking with utmost confidence Holger Rune to win this game outright. That is the easiest pick for me today. Come tomorrow, I might You might see the video tomorrow. I might look like a right dickhead. He might get bullied. Who knows? I'm willing to fucking bite the bullet on this one and just say Holger Rune makes this look easy. This is a really, really fast match, really quick game, probably in two. Don't see the issue here, boys. Holger Rune all fucking day. Next one is great match. This is a great match. This is Hubert Hurkacz versus Tanasi Kokonakis. Now, spread's 2.5. Total is 25.5. That's a lot of fucking games. That's a lot of fucking games, but there's a very good reason for that, man. There's definitely going to be in for a long one here. The last two times these have played, it's went to a third set tiebreaker. Hence the really big total. That was in Miami and Cincinnati. Hurkacz won both of them, by the way. This is just going to be a serving match. Both of these have got an absolute fucking cannon on them. And especially with it being on the hard court, these are going to come in like missiles. And to top that off, both of them aren't really that great at returning the serve. So you've got someone with an absolute missile coming in at you, you're going to struggle to reserve it. There's going to be tiebreakers in this. This probably does go over. It probably does. Don't let that number scare you away. I think Hurkacz gets this one done in 3, like the last 2. Fucking get in. Sorry, Liverpool have just scored. My apologies. Fucking get in. Where was I? Yeah, Hurkacz in 3 for me. Kokonakis has just beat Fabio Fognini in 2. And I'm not going to go on about Fognini again because I've done it in the other video, but I think I could beat Fognini. Unless we were playing in Italy, then he'd somehow find a way for him to win that game, but that's neither here nor there. Let's forget about that one. Hubert Hurkacz is the player, boys. We should be safe with that one. And the final game of the night, fucking hell, this is dragging on a little bit. Final game of the night is Roman Safiullin versus Alexander Zverev. Zverev's 2-0 in the head-to-head. You should beat him in the final in what's it called? Chengdu. He beat him in the Chengdu final. Really, really good game though. Look, Roman Safiullin proved to be a really formidable opponent in that match. He's no joke. He should beat Andy Murray. Was it not today? Yesterday. I really like Safiullin. I really rate him. Zverev's been winning lately though, hasn't he? I know he got beat by Medvedev in Beijing, but like I said, Medvedev got beat by Sinner in the final. Medvedev was on fire that tournament. Absolutely on flames. I can only look at Zverev winning this game. Like I said, Safiullin's been playing good, beat Andy Murray. I'm not surprised he's the underdog in this one. I don't know whether I like the look. I'm not too sure about the 3.5. The last couple of games we've seen Zverev with 3 sets. Remember, he lost the first set in a tiebreaker, which would surely set you up for it over, you'd think, but then he'd win the next 2 sets like 6-1, 6-0. So it's like, do you risk that total? That 23, that 22.5 seems a little bit. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the total in this one. I'm not too sure about the spread either. I think you're well better off just taking Zverev to win this one outright. Possibly 3 sets, but I'm going to be taking Zverev. That's a locked-in official for me. And that's it. That's your lot for tonight, fellas. I'll give you me bet. I've actually got one picked out tonight, so I'm going to be going for Lorenzo Musetti, Holger Rune, Alexander Zverev, and who's that there? I think I have. Have I written somebody twice? No, that's Casper Ruud. Like I said, Can't understand my own writing sometimes, boys. Musetti, Rune, Zverev, Rude. You're looking at about just under 3-1, I think, plus 270. Decent, decent little number. Or if you're feeling brave, you could add Martin Fuskovic to win a set to those four that I've just give you, and that will juice it up to a nice plus 450 for the Americans. Nice 4.5-1 for me fellow Englishmen. That's it. That's all I've got. I hope it's been enough. Thanks for watching. I hope we all win some money, and I hope you all won some money yesterday as well. Well, today. Everyone who's subscribed over the past few days, thank you very much. Fucking love it. I've got 7 subscribers now. Buzzing with it. Absolutely buzzing with it. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and we'll see where this goes. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you tomorrow.